Did you know that your thoughts literally control whether or not you're happy? Yes, it's true. And there are three main reasons why most people never tap into this amazing power. Reason no. One is that they don't know how to do it because they've never been taught how to do it. They don't even realize it as possible for them to be happy all the time if they wanted to. Reason no. Two is that they're looking in the wrong places to find happiness. They think that somewhere out there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and all they have to do is find it, and then they'll be happy. But that's not true. The only place you'll ever find happiness is within yourself. And reason no. Three is the most important reason of all, and that is they believe that their thoughts don't have any control over their emotions. Now, this couldn't be further from the truth, because it's actually quite the opposite. Your thoughts directly dictate what emotion you're going to feel next. Now, I could say that life is like a roller coaster, but that would be a bit cliché. Instead, let me explain it to you like this. You are the driver of the roller coaster, and your thoughts are what controls the direction of the ride. When you think positive thoughts, you will experience positive emotions. And when you think negative thoughts, you will experience negative emotions. That's just the way it works. And the good news is you can learn how to control your thoughts so you can feel however you want whenever you want. This is called the science of happiness. And it is one of the most powerful concepts you can master if you want to improve your quality of life. So what's stopping you from being happy right now? It's not the circumstances around you. It's not what other people are doing. It's not the economy. It's not your genetics. It's your thoughts. You see, you have the ability to choose what you want to think about, and therefore you have the ability to choose how you want to feel. A great example of this is when you watch a movie. Think about the last movie you watched. Was it an action movie, a comedy, or romance? Did you find yourself holding your breath during the action scenes, laughing out loud during the funny parts, and maybe even tearing up during the sad or the romantic scenes? Of course you did. Because even though you knew it was just a movie, your thoughts caused you to feel something. Why? Because your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. Your brain only knows what you tell it to know. If you thought to yourself during the movie, "Hey, this isn't real. It's just a bunch of actors on a set," you wouldn't have felt anything. But since you didn't think that, your brain took the information it was receiving and created emotions based on what was happening in the movie. It's exactly the same thing in your everyday life. For example, let's say you get invited to a party by one of your friends. Now, here's where things get interesting. Your friend invites you to the party with the intention of making you happy. He wants you to go there and have a great time. But what if when you heard about the party, instead of getting excited, you started thinking negative thoughts? What if you thought to yourself, "Parties are boring. Everyone there will be staring at me and judging me. I'm gonna say something stupid, and everyone's gonna laugh at me. I'm just gonna stay home." What would happen is that you wouldn't have a good time at the party. Why? Because you would have created negative emotions based on the thoughts that you were thinking. You would have stayed home and felt sorry for yourself. Even though your friend had the best intentions, your thoughts had a bigger impact on your emotions than his intentions did. This is why we have the power to be happy all the time. We have the power to choose what we think about. Now, I know what you're thinking. But Andrew, I'm not always thinking negative thoughts. Sometimes I think positive ones too. So does that mean I can be happy sometimes? Well, that's a great question, and the answer is yes and no. Yes, it means that you can be happy sometimes, but no, it doesn't mean that you can't be happy all the time if you wanted to. Think about it like this. If you were to take every single thought you had and line them up in a row, which would be more numerous, your positive thoughts or your negative thoughts? The obvious answer is that your negative thoughts would be more numerous than your positive thoughts. In fact, psychologists say that the ratio is about 4 negative thoughts for every 1 positive thought. But I'm guessing that's just an average. Your ratio might be 100 negative thoughts for every single positive thought. Here's the problem. You don't have to have a single negative thought for you to feel bad. All you need is just one negative thought. Just one negative thought is enough for you to feel horrible. On the other hand, you can have 100 positive thoughts, but unless you have at least one negative thought, you'll still feel amazing. This is why it's so important for you to understand how the science of happiness works. You don't have to eliminate every single negative thought that goes through your head. You don't even have to eliminate 90% of them. All you have to do is eliminate just one, because if you can do that, you'll experience way more happiness in your life. I'm gonna show you how to do that right now. There's 2 ways to go about this. First method is to write down your negative thoughts. A great way to start doing this is to carry around a small notebook, and every time you think a negative thought, write it down in the notebook. It doesn't matter what you're doing, just write it down. After a couple weeks of doing this, you'll notice that your negative thoughts will start to disappear. Why? Because you're bringing them to the surface, which means you're not keeping them in the subconscious anymore. And once you start writing down your negative thoughts, you'll also start coming up with positive thoughts to counteract the negative ones. The second method to use is called thought stopping. Thought stopping is where you write down your negative thoughts. But instead of writing them out, you write them out like this. First you write the thought, and then you put a big X through it, and then you write a positive thought to replace it with. For example, I'm not good enough X, I am good enough. I am worthy. Here's another one. Everyone hates me. X, I am loved. People appreciate me. I'm all alone. X, I have amazing friends and family who love me. Now, whichever method you decide to use, it's very important that you start practicing immediately. Don't wait another day, because the longer you wait, the more power your negative thoughts will have over you. And the last thing you want is for your negative thoughts to have any power over you. If you can master the science of happiness, it will change your life forever. It'll change the way you feel, the way you act, and the way other people treat you. So write those negative thoughts down, stop them from happening, and then replace them with positive ones, and before you know it, you'll be on your way to experiencing more happiness in your life. Thank you for watching.